Hi guys, Darth is here back with another video, and today I'm doing another of my top 10s of 2024 videos. We're going to be counting down my top 10 favorite Star Wars The Vintage Collection releases of 2024. I actually almost didn't make this video because I really didn't buy a lot of Hasbro Star Wars stuff this year. I barely made it over 10 Vintage Collection figures. There's just a lot of stuff that I wasn't super interested in, or a lot of stuff I was just willing to wait for sales, so I just haven't bought them yet, and that sort of thing. I definitely think this year was a weaker year for TVC. It was still good. There's still a decent amount of pretty good figures that came out, but just compared to other years, I just don't think this has been as good as previous years anyways. Anyways, in front of you though is obviously not the top 10. These are just some honorable mentions, or basically the last few figures I could scrounge up that didn't quite make the cut. The Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka series, I actually haven't even opened it. It was like the only time ever I've bought a figure, a TVC figure, and I thought it looked really great on the card, but really underwhelming as a loose figure, so I just kept on the card. And I really like how it looks on the card. It's got a nice image of Thrawn from the series. He looks good on the card back, but the figure itself is just super lazy. It's just kit bashing of the different officer pieces in the Rebels Thrawn, and then they just threw a new head on him and give him a new pistol, when he definitely should have had a new mold like the Black Series one did. So this guy can't make the list because I didn't even want to take him out of the package. But I do like having him on card. I have like both the TVC figures and the old 5POA Rebels Thrawn all on card. So he is nice, still nice to have. This Darth Vader I literally actually picked up like a couple days ago, or a few days ago rather. Dang, it doesn't want to focus. This is the A New Hope Darth Vader. I'm pretty sure this came out this year. And it's a really good figure because it's basically the Dark Times Vader, just with a different sculpted torso to be more accurate to Rogue One / A New Hope. And it's really good. I mean, it's now the best A New Hope Darth Vader I have. It's replaced the ones in my collection previously that sorely needed to be replaced. And it looks good, but I just didn't think I should put this on the list because it doesn't actually do a whole lot new, even though it is a really good figure. And then lastly, just to represent the 4-pack, these are two of the clones that came in the Phase 2 2-pack, and I can already tell that it doesn't want to focus because this card back's in the background, so I'm getting rid of that. These two, I think this was a good 4-pack. The new clone mold is quite nice, and I really like the 501st Clone Trooper in the set. But at the end of the day, nothing too crazy. They still need to check their quality control with the paint applications on these figures, mainly with the visors. These ones are pretty decent, but there's others in the pack, and others have gotten single card that weren't so good. I also kind of wish they just made the entire pack 501st Clone Troopers, or like all just like Phase 1s, just normal white ones or whatever. Doing that mix and match of like 3 different legions, or like, you know, or whatever battalions and whatnot. I just don't love that too much because I would have rather just have 4 of these guys, to be honest. But still, cool set. Anyways, let's get on to the actual top 10. Yeah, number 10, we have a figure that I got relatively recently, like only like a month ago or something. It is the new Mandalorian, the Imperial Base Mando, I think they called this one. And it's a good figure. Mainly the biggest upgrade is they gave him the new ball jointed hips. So they're done with those old hinge swivel hips that I really don't like. So that is a nice upgrade, but this figure is just like underwhelming. The paint apps really weren't that good on this figure. I actually swapped the head sculpt. This isn't the stock head. I actually swapped this head sculpt with another TVC Mando that had better paint apps, because the one that came on mine just didn't look good, and the visor was all screwed up. Softgoods cape is nice. He doesn't come with a spear. He actually doesn't come with many accessories. He only comes with his pistol and the Stormtrooper, the Imperial Commando jetpack. He definitely could have came with a lot more stuff, because aside from that, and aside from the hip joints and like the jetpack, there's nothing really that new with this figure. But I did still want to put him on the list because it is still a decently big deal that we finally got Mando upgraded with the hip joints. At number 9, we have another multi-pack, and I am going to give it to Thrawn's Night Troopers. I just have 2 of them here to represent the set. But really cool set. All the Stormtroopers have nice new sculpting for the Night Sister wraps and ribbons or whatnot that are on their armor. The gold looks nice, and the gray bits look really cool as well. And then Enoch is a really nice looking figure as well. Very pleased with how he turned out. I think the helmet that he has looks awesome. And again, the details and the new pieces on him look good as well. He's got a new sculpted torso, I do believe. Honestly, my biggest gripe with this figure is they just need to do what they did with Mando. The Stormtrooper mold needs to get upgraded with the new style hip joints. These ones still have the old disc swivels. And then obviously they're not bad, but they could be so much easier to use if they hadn't changed to the new hip joint. So I'm hoping they'll do that at some point. But these are still really cool. And at number 8, we have the Mandalorian Fleet Commander from Mandalorian Season 3. And I think at the time this came out, this had a lot of new sculpted parts. Now they've reused this body, I think, a decent amount, mainly for that TVC 4-pack, which I think I'll get eventually. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale because I think it's way too expensive right now. But I actually think this figure is really good. I kind of forgot it came out this year, but I looked on the shelves like, yeah, I think that came out this year. And it's nice. I like this shiny blue paint, and then the like grayish white looks really nice along with it. The helmet sculpt looks really good. He has the moving rangefinder. He does have the swappable unhelmeted head if you want to do that, but I like the helmet on him. He's got the jetpack, the pistol, good articulation. It's just an overall really solid release. Maybe not like an essential buy, but I like collecting all the different Mandalorians I can collect, so this one was a cool one to acquire this year. And at number 7, we have the new Hope Leia, which has sorely needed an update. I can't even recall what the last A New Hope Leia figure would have been. It's got to be so old. A new one was sorely needed, and this one's really good. I got this one pretty cheap, which was nice, but just a really well done release. I do like that they went with fully sculpted robes. It just looks a lot better, even though it does hinder quite a bit of articulation. The head sculpt imprint, I think, looks really good. I think it has a pretty good likeness to Carrie Fisher and pretty good accessories. She has the little pistol. I think she came with a Stormtrooper blaster, and then you can either have the hood down or swap it out for the hood over her head. And I like that they went with the plastic hood because it wouldn't have looked good if it was soft goods. So I like that as well. And what articulation you can move is well done. So it's overall a really solid figure, and one I'm happy to add to the collection. And then number 6, we have a deluxe figure. It is Zeb from Rebels. I actually, again, kind of forgot this came out this year. I kind of thought it was a last year's release, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It was this year. And he's cool. I think out of the deluxe release they've gotten, it's one that has at least been a bit more worth the money, even though I'm pretty sure this went on sale a bunch of times. And I don't know why, but my local comic book store, they do offer trade-ins. You can trade in used figure toys and whatnot, get store credit. Which I take advantage of on occasion, but it also means they get an influx of used stuff, and I don't know why, but tons of this figure got traded into the comic book store. So it's kind of unfortunate in the sense that if I had waited, I would have been able to get this guy for really cheap, but you know, I wanted him, so I don't regret that I bought him. I pre-ordered him and just bought him. He has a lot of nice sculpted detail. He's all new sculpt. I think he only got reused for the HasLab. They gave him a new head sculpt, I think, and that's it. The weapons are cool. He has the blaster, or the staff and the blaster configuration, and then he also has the staff, which I don't have here right now, and you can plug those on his back, which are cool. The articulation's good. It's honestly a pretty decent TVC deluxe compared to some of the others. And yeah, I am happy to have him in 3 1/4 inch because I am a big fan of Rebels. And number 5 is another relatively recent acquisition. This one is the Prettiya Ahsoka from Ahsoka, the outfit she has later on in the episode, and I was kind of surprised with this figure. I wasn't in a huge rush to get it, but I got it for a little bit of a sale, and it has a lot more new sculpted parts than I thought it did, and it has a really nice likeness, I think, to Rosario Dawson in the, you know, makeup and all that. I think it looks quite a bit like her, actually. The accessories are okay. She just has her 2 lightsabers. She doesn't come with the hilts or anything like that. And she doesn't come with like a robe or anything, which is a little unfortunate. But the articulation's good. It's just an overall, I think, pretty solid release. And at number 4, we have the new Captain Rex. Again, there's a bunch of figures I keep forgetting they were released this year. But Captain Rex finally got a, I think, much needed improvement. Although I still don't think it's perfect. But he is on the new clone body, which I think looks quite nice. He articulates well. The head sculpt without the helmet on, I think, looks really good. The details look pretty nice. He does have his pistols, which I wish were a little bigger, but that's not a huge deal. I do like the soft goods comma. Does have the swappable helmet. I do think this could have been ever so slightly bigger, and I wish the details in the paint maybe was a little more going on there. But it's still pretty good. I think they could improve a little more on this figure, but overall, it's nice to finally have like a pretty solid, realistic Rex, because the offerings that came before just really weren't all that good. So happy that this guy finally got made. At number 3 is another one I was really happy that got the TVC treatment. It's a one that I've been wanting to do for a while. It is Kanan Jarrus from Rebels. I still like the Black Series 6-inch one a lot, but this one does kind of improve a decent amount just because it's got the modern sort of face printing and all that jazz. So he's got a really nice looking head. You got the pistol, the lightsaber hilt, and go on the belt. You can holster the pistol. The armor looks really nice. The outfit in general looks good. He articulates well. It's just really solid. It doesn't do anything like crazy new or different, anything like that. I'm just a really big fan of the character, and they think they did a really good job on this figure. And at number 2, I thought this figure would be my number 1, but I was actually surprised to decide that it actually wasn't. But I'm still really, really happy this figure got made. It is Count Dooku. I have been wanting this figure in TVC for ever since TVC 1.0 from 2010. It took 14 years to get Count Dooku in TVC, but we finally got him, and he's really, really good. The face print and sculpt looks really nice. He articulates well. He's got the soft goods cloak. The accessories are pretty good. He's got his lightsaber, and he comes with an interchangeable lightning hand, which is great. Yeah, it's a really great figure. I'm super happy to finally have like a definitive Count Dooku. He's gotten a decent amount of figures over the years, but I feel like he definitely gets neglected on the figure front a little bit for being one of my favorite characters from the prequels, so, and Clone Wars and whatnot. So I think this is a super awesome figure, but for some reasons, like, he doesn't quite make the cut for me with being number 1. It's a minor thing, but the paint on his lightsaber scrapes off pretty easily when you remove it from his hand. Like, I haven't taken his lightsaber out of his hand in a long time because it scrapes off a bit too easily. That really bugs me. I don't know why some 3 1/4 sabers do that and others don't. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Also, I do like that they did a soft goods cloak, but the problem is when you articulate and raise his arms, it actually raises the cloak to be too high up on his neck, so then it kind of looks like he has no neck. I don't love that either. I mean, I don't know, maybe if there's a way they could have cut the robe a little, or the cloak a little better, then you sit on the shoulders a bit nicer and a bit lower and not get pushed up quite so far, because I feel like it does kind of ride up on the back of his neck quite a far ways, even if you don't have the arms raised that much. So that's kind of annoying. His tunic is supposed to be black. In the movie, it's black, but for some reason Hasbro likes to make it dark brown. That's minor. I don't really care about that very much. So just things like that. I think it's not quite perfect, but I'm still super happy that they made it, and he did still come out really nicely. So that leaves us with number 1. What made it to number 1? And it's actually another Attack of the Clones character. It is the Deluxe Jango Fett. I like the 1.0 TVC Jango Fett a lot, but it did really need an upgrade, and this is an upgrade. This is such a nice figure. Obviously, they've kind of nailed the Mandalorian pattern at this point with all the other ones they've done so far. But he turned out great. Great articulation. I absolutely love the silver paint they used on this figure. It really shines really well. It makes it look quite metallic, which I absolutely love. They missed the little triangles on his forehead of the helmet, which is a minor detail, which doesn't bug me that much, but it's still a little weird looking. But you got the moving rangefinder, poses nicely. It comes with a decent amount of accessories. You get his pistols, you can holster them. His jetpack, you can put effect parts in. I think he came with effect parts for the jetpack, but I can't actually remember. I think he did. You do have a interchangeable head where you can give him the unhelmeted Tamira Morrison head sculpt, which looks good. He has a flamethrower effect you can put in the forearm, which is great. I do think he could have came with a bit more stuff. He doesn't come with the poncho. He doesn't come with the little headgear piece that the previous TVC figure came with. I think if they included those 2 accessories, he would have warranted the price point a little more. But even still, I'm not really disappointed I paid, pretty much full price for this guy, because I think he's absolutely awesome. I think he is the definitive Jango Fett for 3 1/4 inch. Well, honestly, in terms of Hasbro, because the Black Series one isn't that good anymore. So, yeah, this is great. Very, very happy with this guy. And he is my favorite TVC figure of the year. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. What were some of your guys' favorite TVC figures of the year? Of course, this is my list, and yours is going to differ, so I'm always interested to hear differing opinions. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.